is meant for an adult audience. LoveLine may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion is advised. This is LoveLine. LoveLine. With Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Hey, everybody, it's LoveLine. I'm Adam. That's Dr. Drew. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Drew, board certified physician, addiction medicine specialist. The great Kevin Nealon is in studio tonight.
I believe he prefers to be called Kevin Nealon the Great.
The Great.
Yeah, it usually comes after.
Kevin the Great, you know his work from Crank Yankers, and, well, that's about it. No, of course.
Evening at the Improv as well.
Saturday Night Live, and I read it every time, but I'm always surprised. The longest-running cast member in SNL history.
I said that.
Well, not anymore, really.
Not anymore.
That's an old bio thing.
Yeah.
That
Who's
was
beat you now?
Pardon me?
Who's beat
Well,
you
Tim
now?
Meadows has been out for a long time, and I think this year Daryl Hammond will be
Oh, really?
quite a while. Yeah.
I remember you were saying a few years back that Phil Hartman was getting close, but Kevin put an end to that pretty.
Oh,
no,
come on.
no. I mean, you made it look like an accident. He's very protective, Drew. He has a certain territory that it's like he's like a mother tiger. You get near his cubs. Those are his.
You're talking
cubs.
about me?
Yeah. SNL. Those are your cubs.
No, they're not my cubs.
No, not his cubs.
Those are my bitches.
Yeah, but not his cubs. Kevin, I'm guessing, is going to be.
It's like you're looking at my work, a teacher looking at my work and grading it. Let's see. I see you have Saturday Night Live here.
Mm-hmm.
The long,
Like a job interview.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How'd that go? How does that work?
Extra
Showtimes?
credits here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Where are you going to be? At the Improv?
I'm going to be at the Improv in Irvine.
We're
Out there in Orange County. OC.
They seem.
They seem to book some good stuff. Yeah.
Well, let me.
Until this week, yeah.
Let me say
that's what I'm
this:
saying.
we've had. Yeah, they were on a run.
What
Yeah.
happened?
Any good chain will hiccup every once in a while. Maybe this is it, and then Nealon pulls out, and we get a name in there. But here's what I'm saying: we have a lot of comedians coming through here. They're never plugging the Improv on Melrose.
No,
it's always
true.
Irvine Improv, and I wonder if the Improv on Melrose isn't a moneymaker, or it's not big enough. Or...
Well, the one on Melrose is more of a showcase place. They don't really pay much.
right.
But the one in Irvine pays millions of dollars.
Oh, good.
How big? What is it, about 300?
Yeah, it's about, I'm guessing about 350. I'm not good with size numbers. I don't know, 8,000 maybe.
Maybe 8,000-10,000.
Yeah.
That's
It's an arena. It's the first improv arena.
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
The Irvine Juice, the basketball team, would play there if Kevin wasn't there. That is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 2 big shows most of those nights. So and let me kiss a little Nealon ass.
Right.
Kevin, who I've seen do stand up in the flesh. I know you haven't, Drew, but
Drew, have you ever seen a comic perform?
Not since about 1984.
yeah,
And who was that? Do you remember?
Geechee guy. Who did you see perform?
Don
Drew?
Ho?
My 4th year medical school, I went to a couple clubs, and I saw like Rosie O'Donnell at the Improv.
Bill Kirkenbauer.
But and then no name anybody ever would know.
Yeah. Well, not everyone makes it onto SNL. You know what I'm saying? No, let me say this about Kevin Nealon, and I've had I don't know who brought it up recently, but came up just a couple days ago, and maybe this isn't a compliment, but when people bring up Kevin Nealon in a stand-up, they go, Kevin Nealon's a really funny stand-up, and then someone else will go, like, so inevitably there'll be 4 or 5 people, and someone will go, I know he's really funny, and then there'll be one person who goes, I haven't caught him, and then both people turn him and go, no, you got to understand, he's really good at stand-up. So there's something about you that doesn't exude confidence or competence or something when it comes to stand-up. People, maybe it's just
No, I'm a very, very funny man.
you are, but your persona is sort of low key. Maybe you're laid back, and people, you know what you're like. You're like that kid in high school that was a badass, but wasn't a big talker and didn't wear tank tops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then once in a while, people would go, Mitch Schneider. I saw him kick the ass out of Tony Corral.
Or he's like a downhill skier, and no one knew it because no one gets to see it. And then, oh no, he's a championship skier.
Yeah, he's good. He doesn't talk
yeah.
about it. Kevin doesn't. You got to pay him to be funny.
See, I hate to have to live up to something like that.
Right.
I like them to come and be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, better,
or not be surprised.
But better this way than the alternative.
Yeah,
you know,
Kevin's not very good.
I mean, he's great off stage. he's huge when no one's around.
Great guy.
Yeah, decent guy. No, Kevin Nealon, great stand-up comedian. I've seen him on, actually one occasion. But he was good. He's one for one.
I have a couple of brothers, and a brother that's a year older than me, and all of my friends and my other brother even says, Mike's really the funny one. You know,
yeah, I love
but
that.
the problem with Mike is he hasn't learned how to cultivate it. No. You know, it's more of the 5 beer funny. Oh, right. You know, with the cookies on the eyes and being silly with the waitresses and stuff.
Yeah, that is. By the way, every family that has a successful comedian son or brother, or whatever, there's always someone else in the family that they're touting as the funny one.
Always declare that.
You know what you should do?
Yeah, you don't understand. I'm not the funny one.
But you know what you should do? We should fire back, and whatever they do, that's what we do better. Like my sister cuts hair. When they announce that she's the funny one, I go, but I cut a hell of a head of hair. I cut hair better than that bitch. That's so right. Come on with it.
I'm a better.
What's
undercover.
he do?
He was a DEA. Worked for the DEA.
DEA, you're hell of a lot. Put the windbreaker on, Kevin.
Everyone knows
the windbreaker.
It's like you painted it on him. It's beautiful.
The DA's a laugh a minute.
Yeah. Wow, undercover.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess you got to have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
I remember one time my father was visiting him, and we all sound alike on the phone, my father and my brothers. And his partner, these guys work with partners. Partner called my brother, who was out at the time. My father answered the phone, and they thought it was my brother.
Right.
And without even asking, his partner started saying, "All right, Mike, he's arrived out at the airport. We're going to go down to meet him. I'll see you there in a half hour."
Oh, no.
So I think my father's such a nice guy. I thought my father would probably go down there, just to help out.
Did your brother got any, is he taking down any perps lately?
Pervs or perps?
Perps. Has he been shot at? Anything good?
He's been in fights. He's got a knife wound on his hand.
Wow.
But that was from peeling an apple.
Is he, do you say he was DEA?
Yeah.
Wow. Undercover.
He worked for the DEA. He was with the Atlanta Police Department.
Wow. And no more retired?
Yeah, he retired, and now he's a private investigator.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Let me tell you something about when cops retire. Cops retiring, you never ask, like when one of your mom's friend had to have some outpatient surgery. It's
some
always
pelvic surgery.
Yeah. See, what I'm saying is like when a cop goes, I was with the Atlanta PD for about 13 years, and then I retired.
Why'd you?
No, I never do, because it's like saw my partner die, or shot my old lady, or broke down and killed a 9-year-old black kid who was using one of those hose sprayer things. That it gets weird and it gets scary, just like the mom's friend. She had a little light surgery. It's good. I hope she's fine, because the vagina and the ovaries and the parts are all going to enter in just a matter of seconds.
Yeah. When he first started, he's a cop. And
I don't want to know him anymore. I don't want.
No, when he first started.
Okay.
And he got a call that there was a rape in progress behind a gas station.
Wow, in progress.
Yeah. When you get a call like that, it's a long rape.
Wow.
Yeah.
But so he gets there. He goes to behind the gas station, and he's nervous, and he sees the door open to the bathroom, and he kicks it in, and there's this older guy on top of this older woman, and there's crutches there, And,
oh my God.
And he pulls the guy off the top of her and throws him in the cop car. Comes back to get the woman, and turns out it was the woman that
was doing the rape.
No, it was the guy who owned the crutches, and they knew each other, like two homeless people.
Oh,
and they knew each other, and it was just a rendezvous for them.
Oh, really?
Oh.
So he dragged the guy to the car, not knowing he couldn't walk.
Wow. Oh no.
Oh yeah, that's you got to retire.
Yeah.
You got to retire.
Yeah.
All right, but then for the rest of your life, no one F's with you. You know what I mean?
True.
It's like being some sort of judo champ at college or something. Like people just leave you alone.
Oh yeah, he'll mess with a cripple guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't care for
He's a badass. Yeah, he doesn't care. Nikki?
Yeah.
You're 28?
Yeah.
What's up?
I want to know, like, when I'm having an orgasm, is there supposed to be, like, something that comes out to let me know I'm having an orgasm? Because I don't know if I'm having one or not.
You're not having one.
I use a little kazoo-like character that pops up over my shoulder to give me a little heads up. He taps me on
Dum-dum.
You're having an orgasm.
Isn't there a big O that lights up somewhere?
somewhere, but she may not see it. But Nikki, no. You do not have to have anything come out. Most women do not have anything come out. But if you were having an orgasm, you would know you're having an orgasm. So you're basically you're not having one.
I get this rush of blood to my head, and I'm sweaty, and I get this very intense sensation all over my body. But it's I just want to know, is there something else that's supposed to let me know?
No, and
Your boyfriend should let you know.
No, you're not having an orgasm.
yeah. Here's the thing. You're 28, Nikki.
You're like we're talking to a 12-year-old.
Where are you from? Haiti or something?
I'm from Louisiana.
This girl, you
Before
Creole?
then? Yeah.
Yeah.
Creole.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm Creole.
Yeah.
Wow. That was that accent was born on this soil, huh?
And by the way, she's calling from Indiana, having just cruised up there this evening,
Really? You're from Louisiana.
which is getting creamed tonight.
Oh, really? I
Ivan,
was going to suggest we bomb it. It's no
don't
longer
worry.
know they
part
were
of the
playing.
United States.
Are they playing tonight?
Ivan has come to shore in Louisiana.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's,
Mobile.
turn on the TV, it's all you see.
Yeah, I thought it missed New Orleans and is heading toward Mobile, Alabama.
This is so much like guys. You start talking about orgasms. Next thing you know, they're talking about hurricanes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Nikki.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm picturing you growing up on a swamp.
Not exactly on the swamp, but we weren't far from swamp areas.
All
Well,
right.
what he's saying is that you seem sort of undeveloped, that you wouldn't understand your body a little better at 28. Do you have a boyfriend now?
Yeah,
How long have you been with him?
3 years.
Okay.
All right.
Does
He needs to.
Does he give you oral sex?
Yeah.
He does. Do you enjoy that?
Yeah.
Basically, you'll know we have an orgasm when there's a release afterwards.
Yeah, but not a release of any,
No
pigeons
fluids,
or
no
anything.
pigeons, no doves, no fluids.
Just
Just a
although
release
that would
of
be nice.
tension.
Yes, let the games begin. No, it's one of those things where it's sort of hard to explain, but it truly is one of those. I mean, we have a few of those in society, like when you go into the Mercedes dealership and you say, how much is your car? And they go, well, if you have to ask. It's like, well,
Yeah.
I'd still like to know how much. No, I got to cut a check. At a certain point, you have to tell me how much your car is. That's ridiculous. But I think with the orgasm,
It
you
applies.
truly
Yeah.
do know. If you have to ask, you haven't had one.
Right.
You would know, yes?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a build to sort of
As a guy,
irrational
though,
proportions
As a
then a
guy,
release.
it's nice to have
Something
the
come out.
confirmation.
Yeah,
though.
there's a
Isn't it nice to get
confirmation.
that diploma?
Yes.
That's,
Also, it's hard to explain what an orgasm really feels like to someone who hasn't had one.
Yes.
right.
That's right.
It's like describing a color to a blind person.
Yeah.
I mean, how do
Right.
you describe that feeling?
Well, I mean, you color big afro, flared nostrils.
Yelling.
It's because it's a
Are you saying? Oh, you were okay. I thought you were being derogatory. Okay, I'm sorry. I misunderstood you, Kevin.
because it is a
Go ahead, Drew.
specific somatic experience. It is what it is.
Right.
You know what I
And
mean?
if you
Then
use
that's
any more
like it.
big words like that, I'm going to have to leave.
Okay.
All right, you ready to go? Kevin is modest, but probably not only the funniest stand-up comedian.
Arguably.
Currently in this studio, arguably the funniest stand-up.
Currently in the studio.
There's a good word, arguably.
Arguably.
I always wondered, so they have to argue to prove the point?
Yeah, and not only that, it's not saying much. It's sort of like when, arguably the best stand-up, well, there's many people that would argue vehemently
Otherwise.
against Kevin Nealon being even considered in the top tier, even close to the top
But you could
tier
argue on his
stand-up.
behalf.
I would argue back, yes,
Yeah.
but I'd probably be beaten down by the roar of naysayers. Yeah, there's that one. They do that in sports too, and they go they'll do that one. John Elway, as good as any quarterback in the league. Well, maybe better. He's got a couple Super Bowl rings, and he's going in the Hall of Fame next week. Probably better. I don't like that as good as.
Yeah.
Well, not the best guy.
I was in some little town in the South, and it was one gas station, and it was called Best. I thought, what a waste. You didn't even have to use that name. You don't have to.
Right.
You could said good, and it would have been enough.
You only need best when there's more than one of you.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I like that too. I know we're just going off on a tangent here, but every once in a while, I remember when I was in junior high and high school, and there'd be the elections would come up every year. There'd be the treasurer and the student body president. Drew was the student body president, by the way.
That
and
does not
once in a while,
surprise me.
there'd be some crappy gig like secretary of the cafeteria or something, and they would run unopposed. And the person would still give a speech, which I don't agree with. And the other thing is they would always do that, even though I'm running unopposed. I still need your vote. And I thought, no, you don't. Not if you vote. Hey, the worst you're going to do is a tie. You have to be. You have to be. You'll be in. If you vote for you're in. You don't need my vote. It just means you're insecure. We shouldn't be hearing this speech right now.
They're afraid of write-ins.
Oh yeah. Especially,
That's how insecure they are.
Yeah, I think North Hollywood High would actually let felons vote in their elections too. And a lot of prisoners riding in from Chino and other outlying prison colonies. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. Let's talk to Jamie. Jamie, you're 17.
Hi.
What's up?
I have a blister on my vagina, and I was wondering what it might be.
What do you mean blister? You mean like it's clear liquid in it, clear fluid?
It just looks like a regular blister. Like it's just like the same color and everything.
Does it hurt?
What?
Does it hurt?
A little bit, not really.
It's on the edge of the vagina?
Yeah, it's on the lips.
Mm-hmm. You weren't doing that trick where you smoked the unfiltered cigarette down there, were you?
I mean, where you got a burn down there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had a girlfriend try it once. I mean, it looked funny. It was a
Was
funny
she a stripper?
picture. Well, what we did is we put some sunglasses on her lap and then put a cigarette in there. It was funny. It was at the time, it was a funny Christmas card, I thought.
Until she got burned.
Yeah, till she got burned. Yeah.
The Jamie herpes is classically described as a grouping of a cluster of small blisters on a red base.
I've only been with one person for 3 years, and
I'm just saying, if you want to know what a blister is, that's one thing you worry about. Otherwise, it could be just.
Can I also
can
I offer something, Dr.
Yeah.
Drew? Do you wear tight jeans
yeah,
without underwear?
sometimes.
There you go.
Is that it?
That could be it.
Kevin was talking to
Well,
his penis.
there are inclusion cysts and things like that where glands can sort of get clogged and swell, and it may just be something like that. So you need to have a doctor take a look at it, and be sure to do it while it's still there because these things are clinically diagnosed. There's no test for them. Depends how they look.
I'm sticking with the jeans.
All right.
Did you wear jeans in the last few days? Tight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Nealon knows.
Go have fun.
Kevin is a guy who rarely wears underpants and almost always wears very tight jeans. Kevin seems to think that's the answer.
Sergio Valente jeans. Designer jeans.
Thank Christ we're not packing our prodigious sacks and belly rolls into those things now. What a disaster! What did 45-year-old guys do? By the way, in 1977, they just had to shoehorn their junk into those jeans.
Jeez.
I guess if you were single, you had to do that.
Well, not
right?
everyone's scrotum heads towards Mecca like yours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
yours is.
It's prominent. What can I say?
I loved it when Levi's came out. Was it Levi's that came out with a relaxed fit?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was
And then
great.
the ones with the Scotchmore room and the seat and thigh.
Perfect.
Yeah, nice. But the problem is now I only feel comfortable if I'm wearing like a bed sheet
Toga.
and half a pair of underpants to leave the house. Yeah, I really do. I leave the house just wearing a toga and flip-flops. Like the idea of just wearing 501s feels confining now.
Yeah.
It's really weird. It's like I got to wear sweatpants. I got to wear just a towel around my waist. But I don't want.
That's what Rodney Dangerfield always does. He would show up to the clubs wearing pajamas.
Is that right?
Yeah, or a bathrobe.
What do you wear
remember
now?
when Dangerfield did our show?
Yeah.
We did the TV show.
Yeah.
And by the way, Rodney Dangerfield, for those of you who haven't met him in person, a delight. A delight.
Hey, how you doing? Ooh, look at your hair.
He did the radio
old
show
prick.
too.
Yeah,
He did
yeah.
both.
Oh, what a
I worked
jackass.
on.
God, I hate that guy.
A movie with him a couple of years ago, and I said, "How you doing, Rodney?" And he looked at me and goes, "Nah, I'm coughing up blood now." He was serious, and a week later he had his heart surgery or something.
Oh my.
Here's the thing about Dangerfield. The guy's looked at as a bit of a living legend in this business. Everyone I've ever talked to about him says he's a colossal prick, including myself, who's met him a couple times and found him to be a horrible man.
I've never experienced that with him.
I think you have.
He's always been nice to me.
No, he hasn't.
All right.
No, he hasn't. Well, we met him. Well, when he did the TV show, by the way.
Well, he was not an offensive guy. He just wasn't sort of connected.
He's a jackass. I think it's fair to say.
Blowhard.
Let's put it this way. When he did the LoveLine TV show, he was in his dressing room.
Yeah.
I decided to go in there and greet him before he came on to the show and just, kick the tires a little bit. So I came in. He's sitting on the sofa with that crazy Buddha belly hanging out of his bathrobe, and sure enough, he is in his pajama. Well, oftentimes, he just wears a bathrobe. Places, by the way, and he has
should be your idol. What are you talking about?
You're describing your future, Corolla.
He's the idol of many Chinese because he had the gut,
the belly.
It just that gut sticking out in the belly button that just look like a doorbell. Just pow, just like a Biafran kid.
I see, I see a lot of older guys with a big gut, and I wonder how do they live with that?
Yeah, I know.
I know how it happens. I don't know how it stays there.
No.
How do they live with it?
Well, I guess you start wearing a bathrobe around. So he was sitting there, and he was very glassy-eyed. And I came in there, and I said, hey, Rodney, I just want to introduce myself. And he went, who are you? And I was like, I'm the host. So, well, what do you want? I was like, it's saying, good to see you, and you come on the show. Yeah, okay, whatever. Then he came on the show. After the show, we do those quick wraparound things where it's like, everyone leaves, and they do, hi, I'm Rodney Dangerfield. Catch me after Real World on MTV's LoveLine. He wouldn't do them. He wouldn't. And so, Rodney, it's going to take 30 seconds. No, not going to do it. Like, we could have been done by now. Now I got to get a haircut.
Dude, this guy is your idol.
He had to get a haircut. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Had to get a haircut.
He just got up and left.
He just got up and left. All right. So listen, he was a prick. I mean, let's face it. I'm just saying. Here's all I'm saying, and not all that funny, by the way, either.
How long ago was that?
Oh man, 5-6 years ago.
Okay, maybe the heart attack changed him.
He's a nice guy now.
I've always had a nice experience with him.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Oh no, I get back rubs and everything from the man.
All right, we're going to take a break. Kevin Nealon is going to tell me off the air what kind of real experience he had with Rodney Dangerfield, or I will not plug his appearances coming up at the Brea Improv.
Maybe he wasn't being nice because he wasn't getting respect.
Oh.
Did he say anything about not getting respect?
No, but he did grab a tie and he almost choked himself because he's wearing a bathrobe. All right. We're going to take a little break. Kevin Nealon at the Brea Improv Thursday, Friday,
No, that's
Saturday.
the Irvine Improv.
Oh, Irvine.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
right. Irvine.
Is there a Brea, or am I making that up?
Yeah, there is a Brea. They're the same thing. They're just out in Orange County.
Is it a different place?
It is.
We were talking about Brea last night.
Oh, is that?
Yeah,
was
this
someone
one's-
in Brea?
Nikki Zinger's from Brea.
This one's Irvine.
Or
Irvine.
Brea, as she pronounces it. All right, anyway. Irvine Improv, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Surprisingly, arguably, the best stand-up comedian in this room, Drew. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Well, I'll tell you what, sweetheart. I think I'll have the French fries, bitch. And you'll also give me the hamburger whore. And I don't think I'll take any ketchup with that, slut.
1-800-LOVE-191.
Call LoveLine.
Hey, everybody, it's LoveLine. I'm Adam. That's Dr. Drew. Kevin Nealon, arguably one of the funniest stand-up comics working in the Irvine Improv this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 2 big shows, by the way, on Saturday and Sunday? No, Friday and Saturday. Yeah. And, I'll tell you, you got to see him do stand-up. You really do. You don't need to see the whole act, but you should just catch the beginning part. And then
One of the best
say you've
arguers
done it.
around. No,
Huge.
arguably.
One of the best arguers.
Literally. Arguably.
Yeah. Oh my God. I was just watching TV tonight, and they did that. They did that thing where they go, and the shortstop. Literally, he came from nowhere, got the ball and threw it. He literally came from nowhere. He just literally, he came, and it's like if I see another person go, I literally jumped out of my skin. I literally jumped out of my skin.
There it was.
There it was. It's as if I'd shed my clothing. It's just I literally jumped out of my skin.
You know what's
Literally.
another word that's kind of misconstrued is the enormity of the situation.
Yeah.
Yes.
It doesn't mean big.
Oh,
right?
really?
No.
What does it mean?
Should mean.
It's like an evil connotation.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, really is. Oh,
Yeah.
Interesting.
Didn't know that.
All right, go.
So I got to tell you, I really got ripped away from a good TV show tonight to come down here. Maria Shriver interviewing.
I was just watching it.
Roy and
Yes.
Siegfried
Yes.
and Roy.
He didn't
Oh,
look good.
really?
Oh man,
What
looks
was
bad.
up? Drew,
Roy
what do you
is in the
think?
chair.
Well, it's what I
not looking
expected.
good.
People are like, "Oh, he's made great progress." He's hemiparetic. He's just gone at one
He's
time.
hemiparetic.
gone. One
Means
side.
he's got a Hemi coming out of his head.
Wow.
He's just gone one side.
I mean, hemisphere,
Yeah.
the paralysis in one hemisphere of the brain.
Yeah, well, one half of the body completely.
Hemiparetic. See, break it down.
Hemiparetic.
Yeah. Thank God North Hollywood High had that Latin program for me. I studied very hard.
But I mean, this whole he's coming back. He'll be doing magic in no time. Yeah. How'd it look to you, Kevin?
It looked pretty bad.
Yeah.
Was
sad.
he speaking? Was he able to
He was
speak?
speaking, but he was speaking as if he was recovering from a stroke. Am I right, Drew?
Right.
That would be about what's happening. I'd say. Yeah, it's good.
The good news with the gay guys and the neck injuries is they're prone to scarf wearing anyway. So it's always, you know,
and
it's
the
very,
turtleneck too, or it goes very nicely with that.
it's smart in general with hickeys,
Dicky.
with line attacks, whatever happens. It's a good idea to sort of. It's like a guy who's not bald wearing a baseball cap early in his career,
Right.
so later on when the hair falls out, everyone knows
You're all
he's
set.
got the cap.
The problem here, there's clearly not the neck injury. The massive stroke, massive.
The thing they were
half
showing.
his brain is gone basically.
Well, what happened?
I'll tell you
Drew?
exactly what happened because I was watching part of it before I came down here. He came out like he does every night with Montavani, whatever the tires. Montagor, yeah, the white tiger.
Right.
And comes out and introduces it and to the audience and says this is his first night, you know, and he's a little nervous. And it's not really his first night. He's been doing it for, 3,000 shows.
Right.
And for some reason on this night,
Now,
Montagor,
hold on. Is this your act or is this?
No,
Really,
this is
what happened?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were a little preview for the
stand-up.
Irvine Improv. No, that you actually came out with. No, this.
I
is
actually come out with Montagor too.
Right.
That's a different thing.
All right.
Anyway, for some reason, the tiger bit onto his arm, and he told the tiger to release his arm, and he did.
Right.
But as he did, he fell backwards. Mm-hmm. Roy fell backwards onto the stage, and the tiger, I guess, trying to help him, picked him up by the neck.
Yeah.
There was no screaming by Roy.
Right.
He just kind of went limp.
Right.
And the tiger just nonchalantly dragged him, carried him off stage.
Slowly
like a baby cub.
dragged him and then
There
released
was no
him.
blood, nothing. And they backstage, he they let him. Somehow they got him out of there.
Did he release him? I mean,
Yeah, I guess
we've heard this story before. Drew is
He
too
didn't-
cynical
he
to
did- no,
believe
but he
it.
didn't grab him and shake him.
No.
You know what I mean, he wasn't trying to destroy him.
Yeah, well, I mean, one
But-
could argue that if the tiger was going to maul him,
Yeah.
he would need 700,000 stitches, right? I mean,
right.
he'd be
Done.
Although I would have those things declawed almost immediately.
Yeah.
By the way,
Here's the big thing, by the
Yeah.
way. The story was really supposed to be about Siegfried and Roy, but they were touting it as Maria Shriver coming back to TV.
Oh.
The first lady of the governor of California.
really, wow.
So, some
She's
guy
so brave.
miraculously recovers from a tiger attack.
Right.
Is in the wheelchair, but yet it's really about Maria.
Oh boy.
Well, now, so
But so they had a stroke, then it hit his carotid artery or something.
Yeah.
And he stroked
so
out.
the tiger. Okay, so the tiger punctures the artery
Yeah.
in the neck. And by the way, if you ever get one of those full-size tigers and sort of peel the lip back and take a look at that tooth. I mean, you've seen the Guidos with the shark tooth in New Jersey. I mean, this thing is incredible. I mean, this thing looks like
it's
a 3-inch dagger.
It's like an elephant's
Tusk.
yeah.
So that punctures the artery.
Yeah.
And the supply of blood to the brain is cut off. Is that what
Is that how they
happens?
told the story? I imagine that's
I don't know the exact details. I assume that's what it was, the carotid artery or something.
And then he has a stroke.
Right.
Now is that what happens when blood is cut off to the
Yeah,
brain?
your brain dies. That part of your brain just dies.
That's why you should take an aspirin every day.
Can it come back?
No, brain is over. That's just part of half your head's gone.
Well, how come people that have strokes can relearn to talk again? That's the other side of their brain?
No, they'll never be the same.
No.
They're just using other areas and they're bypassing some. But those are small strokes that learn to talk again. I mean, when
Those are tremors. Those aren't big earthquakes.
Yeah, when you have a big, what's called middle cerebral artery event, yeah, it's just you're not the same.
Are you a real doctor or just a love doctor?
How will I know if I have a stroke?
You won't.
Will it be
We
anything
will.
coming out?
We'll tell you. You'll only be doing 3 shows at the Irvine Improv instead of 4 nights.
So he had a left-sided stroke, right?
Oh,
and
hold on, Kevin. You got to do. Hey, okay, it's time. It's time. Here's all I'm saying. For a while in the '80s, it was in vogue to have these sort of handy-capable comedians. I saw them on, like The Facts of Life, and there was a handful of comedians out there that were deaf and had speech impediments and had like cerebral palsy and stuff like that. You do Nealon stroked out.
Oh,
Kevin Nealon with a stroke.
Oh,
He's so brave.
that'd be hysterical.
He's continuing to go on.
That'd be so funny. But
that would be great comedy.
He had a left, as I recall, his left side was out, so his language was intact.
He's like Kirk Douglas.
Language was intact,
Yeah.
but he has what's called anosognosia, and so everything on the left gets ignored. Left like doesn't exist for them. It's a very strange state. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So he knows nothing about the Democrats.
No, not only right.
So now, so if you have a stroke and it's just luck of the draw, what part of your brain it affects?
Basically.
Basically.
I mean, if it's
and you could have a stroke that didn't affect your speech per se, but
well, speech is all right side.
Right.
And you know.
So it affects your left side. I mean, his left side is affected.
His when I say right side, I mean it would be right side of the body, left side of the brain is speech.
Right.
Right side of the brain, left side of the body is the anosognosia.
And so he can't use his left arm, his left leg.
Right.
Wouldn't it be terrible if, like when you get shot with an arrow, sometimes they say, I can't take it out, otherwise you'll die. We're going to leave it in.
Right.
What if the tiger, they had to make sure that the tiger still grasped on.
Stayed on
he had
it.
to live the rest of his life with a tiger on his neck.
Would have prevented the stroke.
Yeah.
But
I was thinking, I have thought about it, and we've talked about this before, though. It's got to be the worst part of an already bad injury when the rebar's impaling you. It's going through your chest, and you're at the process, not where you're pulling it out, but where you're sawing it off so we can take you to the hospital.
Yeah.
That just the idea that we're not really doing anything about this rebar going through other than just cutting it loose from the cement retaining wall.
One of the funniest cartoons I saw, I think it was in some newspaper, it was at this guy in the doctor's office, and he had a big arrow through him, big arrow. And the doctor said to him, he goes, now, I want to warn you, this may tickle a little bit when I pull it out because of the feathers.
All right, Drew,
here we
you
go.
were going to say one thing, or are we going to the
keep
phones? You good? All right. Well, interesting.
Wow.
All right. So never going to perform again.
He will, but it won't be the same way. Like if you take someone with anosognosia and have them draw a clock, they'll only draw they'll cram it all on the right side.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a complete.
That is
their
wild.
brain not working right.
All right. Okay.
And they don't process. They don't process
Even if
emotions normally and things.
Even if you told them to draw a circle.
They draw the circle, but they'd push it. It would be lopsided, and they would push everything.
It looked more like a peanut.
But then also, if you said draw a clock, all the numbers would be on the right side.
All right.
They make clocks like that, by the way.
Salvador Dali.
Salvador Dali clock.
Yeah.
Krista,
Yeah.
you're 19.
Yeah.
What's happening, baby doll?
Well, I've been dating my boyfriend for about 3.5 years, and about 6 months before I started dating him, I was raped by 2 guys, and they put me on Zoloft and Wellbutrin, and then I stopped taking it, and about 6 to 8 months ago, I completely lost my sex drive. Like, it just plummeted to zero. It didn't, taper off at all.
You're wearing tight
And,
jeans?
I'm sorry?
No, Kevin,
This
not
is-
everything's,
no.
not everything's tight.
This
jeans.
is
It's
off
just
the antidepressants.
Roy, however, was wearing tight jeans when he was attacked.
Off the antidepressants, you had a loss of sex drive.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask: were the 2 guys raped you simultaneously?
I don't know. I passed out. I was drunk. And
Okay, yeah, but when you say 2 guys raped you, you mean in one evening? It wasn't 2
Yeah.
separate events?
Were these guys you knew?
they went to my high school. I didn't know them.
I went to your high school.
It was like a big party probably at high school.
And so you got drunk and you passed out at a party.
Right.
And how do you know they? Yeah.
Well, I woke up with my pants down around my ankles, and I was a virgin at the time, so I had lost my virginity.
And
Well, I know, but
sexual abuse in childhood, no weird touching or anything.
No.
how do you know that they had intercourse with you?
I don't know completely 100%, but I just assume. And I went to therapy, and they said, well, you were raped and whatever. And I'm in therapy now.
Good.
And they just put me on Lexapro. And
but again, understand that these antidepressants can totally shut off your sex drive. So first thing I want to establish is that the change in libido correlate in any way with the medication?
I think so. I mean, I
All
don't
right, the
know.
medication. Listen, Krista, the medication will completely shut down your sex drive. The
Right.
Zoloft, Lexapro, less so, but it can. Prozac, all the serotonin reuptake inhibitors can cause a severe drop in your sex drive. In fact, with women particularly, sex looks sort of irritating. Like seeing people kiss is like, ugh, why are they doing that?
Well, I got the same. I fast forward through that part.
I know, but
right to the
Krista
69.
that's not a normal thing for Krista.
Oh.
And so, are you having those sorts of feelings now?
Yeah, I won't
Yeah.
even kiss him.
Yeah, that's the antidepressant.
All right. But here's the part I worry about is that you just assume two guys raped you when obviously something happened, but not necessarily. And why not, like...
Always look on the bright side.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
if I'm the guys on the firing squad and one of us has a blank, I'm going to assume that I was the guy who had the gun with the blank just to get through my day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why not? Okay, assume these guys did something, diddled you, what have you.
Well, that's why it's
the fact that they both have an intercourse with you. I was raped by two guys.
That's why she sounds like a victim.
I know.
That's why I was.
So what's going on with that, Krista?
Yeah.
And you lost your virginity to these guys, but did you ever?
She thinks she did.
You ever get a medical evaluation?
No, I didn't, but I did go to therapy, and I told them what I thought had happened, and they basically said, well, you were raped, and you don't need to deny it, you need to admit it.
Yeah, but these were angry lesbians. Yes?
Well, I probably.
Probably. And by the way, first off, there's way too much of that stuff. Like, I had a dream my dad molested me. Oh,
therefore.
okay, you're a victim.
Yeah.
You got to write him a letter.
Right.
Put it on his grave. It's like...
Victim is as victim does.
Oh,
That you have to earn victim status.
Well, here's the thing, too. 3/4 of the people that you're talking to who are therapists,
Also
especially
victims.
if they're women, are nuts and we're diddled. Let's be honest with you. You want an old Jew with a bad beard and dandruff, quite frankly. A horrible hygiene, by the way. And a corduroy jacket with the suede patches on the sleeves. All right. And it'd be nice if he strokes a lapdog while he's taking advice. And a smoker's nice, too.
You're thinking
bravado.
of Dr. No.
I'm turning him. Yeah, I'm turning him into a
Dr. Evil.
Yeah. All right. No, wait a second. Never victim. Parents together. No alcoholism or drug abuse in the family.
My dad's an alcoholic, and he lives in Georgia.
Yeah. And did they physically abuse you or anything when you're growing up?
When I was younger, my brother did.
Yeah. You just sound like a victim.
There's something up. Yeah.
You're just ready to be a victim. And you didn't go take action. You didn't get a medical exam. You didn't protect yourself or come to your own defense. You're blaming other people for your status as a rape victim. It's just, it's all victim.
Someone's got to rape you, Drew.
No, but I mean, she's saying the therapist told me I'm a victim, so therefore I am.
I'll take it a step further. The therapist probably didn't say you were raped, now get over it, or it's time to act accordingly. They probably said, well, there's a chance you may be.
Why don't deny that? Let's just get on. Let's talk about
right. They rarely speak.
But why can't she be a victim?
I don't know.
She is.
No, I'm just saying we know that there's something in her past that is relevant because she is so sure that she was victimized by these two guys, and I'm sure they did something, and they deserve something bad to happen to them.
Yeah.
But why go through as the double rape victim?
Right. Well, you're in therapy. You're treated.
All right.
It's fine.
Stick
The
in
antidepressant
therapy.
or what's screwing with your sex drive probably now. Not to say that the victimization, whatever it was that happened, you couldn't also come to bear on your libido. It certainly will.
Yeah, and alcoholic dad in Georgia is something you should focus on in therapy too.
Yes.
Although I've not been to Georgia, but I understand you have to be an alcoholic or they won't
But
let
not a
you
dad.
in.
But not a dad.
Oh.
So,
okay.
see.
All right. So I know the laws vary from state to
It's
state.
region to region there in Georgia. But
Right.
Krista, the alcoholic dad and the abandonment, all those issues, that's what you should be focusing on in therapy, making it what's called a cohesive narrative of your life.
All right. We will take ourselves a little break. Kevin Nealon, arguably one of the best arguers in Southern California, is going to be at the Irvine Improv. Arguably one of the best comedy clubs in Orange County. He's going to be there Thursday, Friday. And Friday, arguably the best day of the week because, there's thank God it's Friday. There's TGI. There's the restaurant. There's that movie.
That's probably the most popular day of the week.
Arguably, yeah. And it's furthest away from Monday, really, if you think about it.
But really the weekends start on Thursday for...
Yeah, for most of us
most
out here in
people,
Southern California enjoying that lifestyle. Arguably one of the best states in the union.
Notably one of the best states.
Notably.
Yeah, and it's people don't understand the enormity, by the way, of the notability. Okay, go, Drew, look it up. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Dude, you got issues.
Call LoveLine.
1-800-LOVE-191.
Hey, everybody, it's LoveLine. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew.
Hey, everybody, it's LoveLine.
Phone number, 1-800-LOVE-191. Kevin Nealon in the studio tonight. Really a fantastic stand-up comedian. He's the thinking man's.
Comedian's comedian.
He's a comedian's comedian. Arguably one of the best comedians.
Do you think there's other professions like that? She's a stripper's stripper, you know. He's a doctor's doctor.
Yeah, I don't think they have a thinking man's either. I think he's the thinking man stripper.
That's a nice move she made. I wonder where that came from.
He's yeah, and they don't have like the Michael Jordan of all wet nurses or anything like that. They probably don't have a Michael Jordan of crappy jobs either.
No.
Although engineer Chris over here, arguably the Michael Jordan of $10 an hour guys.
I am literally going to kill myself if we don't get to another call.
All right.
Literally.
Arguably or literally?
Literally.
Okay, let's go. Amanda.
Adam.
You're 27. What's up, baby doll?
I am actually looking for Dr. Drew to demystify female ejaculation.
What about it?
My girlfriend does it, and she worries often that it's urine, or that it's a combination of ejaculation and urine.
For some women it is, but for the most part it isn't.
Would it be noticeably odorous?
Yeah, you could. Again, there are acid tests. You could take a big dose of B vitamin or some asparagus the day, before.
What are the chances of feces coming out as well?
No feces from the vagina.
Just the urine.
Well, there is something called a rectovaginal fistula that bad times where feces can come out the vagina. That is rare.
Wow.
That's really equivalent to like a fountain peeing blood, right? I mean, it's the devil. The devil's work is at hand there. Well, wait, hold on a second, Amanda.
Mm-hmm.
What about the mixture? We never hear about the mixture.
No, it's usually one or the other.
Yeah. I mean, we hear, that it's female orgasmic incontinence, in which case it's urine, or we hear, that's
fluid.
just a gland out there shooting some fluid out. But the chances that it's a mixture, and it makes sense, it could be, but...
we don't hear about it.
We don't hear about
that
it.
means it's probably very unusual.
Here's the deal, Amanda. First off, nice work.
That you produce.
Wow,
Good.
Thank you.
Right?
That's a girlfriend.
I am quite proud.
Yeah, you're doing good. It's
I thought it was her friend.
No,
but she produces. It's her girlfriend.
Kevin, let me explain something. Kevin's.
I see. That's a gay couple.
Yeah, he's wearing the pants.
I'm sorry. I thought she said her
Scotch
friend.
More room in the jeans for.
No,
yeah,
I'm representing the angry lesbian contingency you so lovingly speak of.
Yeah, but Amanda, you're not angry.
No.
Well, no.
No.
Okay.
But well,
not yet.
So she produces fluid. I think you would know it if it was urine.
Yeah.
How about that?
Again, you can test for it by taking vitamins and eating asparagus, but the probability is yes that it's fluid, glandular material from down there. There's a lot of fluid produced. Some women. Interesting thing about this is again, some women do this, some women do not.
Yeah.
A small percentage will do it, sometimes not others. It doesn't necessarily equate with the size of the orgasm, and a lot of these women that do it feel ashamed of it. They're somehow embarrassed or feel something happened bad to them. No, of course, it's a good thing, right, Amanda? You are producing it.
It's easier to tell if it's urine if they do it in the snow.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, if they can do their initials, it's huge. Amanda, now do you give her this orgasm via oral sex?
No, either penetration or clitoral stimulus.
What kind of penetration?
Just my hands.
Digital penetration, or what's the other one?
Thank you.
All right, so no oral, right?
No.
Okay, good.
Why? Oh, you don't want. Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like when you light a cigarette off the stove. You burn your eyebrows.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea. Just getting right in there. Use
that,
a lighter.
You know that medicine? What's it called? It's made with horse's urine.
Oh,
Premarin.
Premarin. It's made from pregnant mare's urine. Yeah.
And yet, I don't know how women could take that.
I don't either, but I don't know why you wouldn't name it just Goodendall or something. You got to name it after pregnant mare's urine.
A lot of biological products are produced in interesting situations, whether it's plant or animal or whatever. It's
All right,
plant urine.
All right, we got a question for. They have feelings though. Seriously,
seriously,
literally. Eric.
Hey guys, what's happening?
You're 23. What's up?
Yeah, well, I hate to interrupt you. I don't got to go to the weather. Los Angeles chicken in 71 degrees. Burger Bank coming in 71. And Hawaiian Gardens just in 71 degrees.
Wow. All right, buddy.
Eric's back.
What's up?
Hey. I had a question for Kevin Nealon. Kevin, how you doing?
Good, thanks.
All right. I think that you are one of the funniest people on the planet, and I've been looking for a long time and haven't seen a best of SNL DVD. Do you have one?
No, I don't allow that.
What's that?
I don't allow that.
You don't allow
They
that?
must have
Yeah.
best of SNLs that have
Nealon
in there.
I'm in some of them. Yeah, I don't have. What he's saying is there's
One
not the
dedicated
best
to
of
Kevin.
Kevin.
Oh,
Nealon.
you're saying dedicated to Nealon?
Yeah,
The problem is
Farrell has them, and
I was only on the show for 9 seasons. I didn't really have enough time to get enough
He
sketches
was
together.
just starting to hit his stride.
He still has the best sketch of my favorite all time with Harvey Keitel.
That's my favorite.
In the bathroom
Yeah.
where he's the attendant in the small little bathroom. Harvey Keitel's trying to take a crap.
Let me stroke Nealon here for just a second. Kevin, not again a comedian's comedian, but not a bells and whistles guy. You know, not nothing you can really hang your hat on in
Nuanced,
terms of it's
subtle.
It's not the church lady. It's not you look marvelous. It's not the big. It's not the big stuff. It's not the coneheads. It's a wonderful study in less is more.
Yeah.
It's and I know this is going to start getting irritating, but I just mean
literally.
Kevin is one of the smarter guys out there, and doesn't need to shout to let people know he's funny.
There you go. Also, I think they come out with the best ofs when somebody has a film out and they want to publicize it.
Right.
So they'll jump on that bandwagon.
All right. Anyway,
He's saying he would like the producer to contact him tonight and get a film going.
Nealon going to be at the Irvine Improv, arguably one of the better improvs in
Irvine.
In Irvine. That's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back after this.
Okay, so I know there's nothing wrong with me. So what's up?
So I was like you, and I used to think that these Datelines were totally cheesy.
Why can't I meet anybody?
But I tried everything else and thought, what the hell? So I called the Dateline and actually met a cool guy.
I called the Dateline and I hooked up with some cool people.
Believe it or not, other normal people are out there looking too.
877-889-DATE.
1-800-LOVE-191. We'll be right back.
This hour brought to you in part by Axe. Experience the Axe effect.
Hey, everybody, it's LoveLine. I'm Adam, that's Dr. Drew. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Kevin Nealon is in studio tonight. Kevin is, at some point, was the longest-running cast member on Saturday Night Live until he was overtaken by, I don't know who. Tim Meadows. He, who, by the way, probably doesn't have a best of Saturday Night Live box set dedicated to him either. But a funny gentleman.
Although he might. He had a film come out.
He did have a film come out.
Ladies Man.
I'll tell you, that thing, by the way, was just sort of quintessential Saturday Night Live film that doesn't seem to work out. Like was almost a parody of Saturday Night Live films that didn't seem to
That
work
character,
out.
though, kills me.
I do love the character.
character.
I love the Courvoisier and all the
Yeah.
rest of it. It's just, I think that movie came out and it was almost like, this is not a real movie. This is just one of those. It was like when Molly Shannon had the like a Catholic schoolgirl cheerleader superstar thing come out. It was almost like, well, first off, can we make do we have to make a movie about every bit that was on SNL? I mean, it's a funny bit. They're both funny. 3.5 minutes. I couldn't imagine 95 minutes of them, and maybe the rest of North America couldn't either. But the point is Timmy Meadows, great guy and a dear friend, and it's time to have him back on the show. He was on here with
Mean Girls.
Yeah, Mean Girls.
What's her name?
Yeah,
Tina Fey.
Tina Fey, everybody, who probably doesn't have a box set out about her either. See, starting feeling better, buddy. Going to be at the Irvine Improv Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And go see Kevin Nealon and be surprised by how funny he is.
And it is stand-up comedy. It's not sketches. A lot of people think they're not sure that I do stand-up.
No.
They think they're going to see some sketches, but
No.
it is stand-up with a few characters from Saturday Night Live here and there, sprinkled throughout.
Yeah.
For familiarity purposes.
But he doesn't have to. It's not a crutch.
No,
I've
it's
seen
not
him-
a crutch. It's
No,
not a
it's
wheelchair.
crutch.
It's nothing like that.
Do you know the Harvey Keitel skit I'm referring
It's kind
to?
of a stroke cane. It's not really a crutch per se,
Yeah,
but
it's
it
a
is one of those
four-prong cane.
canes that has
Four-prong.
the four
Yeah.
legs on it. Yeah, but it's not a walker.
Do you know which skit I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, okay.
We've talked about it quite a bit. I'm a fan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
literally.
I'm literally a fan. I'm literally
Arguably,
and
I like to hear
literally
Tom
fan.
Brokaw say it literally. Literally.
And by the way, he's becoming a parody of himself on television. He is now doing himself.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to do when I get home. Ashley? Yeah.
Yes.
You're 19?
Uh-huh.
What's up, baby doll?
Well, I have been dating my boyfriend for about 7 months.
Mm-hmm.
And when we first started having sex, it would go for, like an hour, everything is fine. And then recently, I can only go for like 3 minutes
Before
before
what
like
happens?
I'll have an orgasm and then I'll just want to stop.
So in the past, you wanted to have multiple orgasms.
Right, and I could have multiple orgasms. Like I
So
would
you're like a
go
guy
in the
now.
beginning,
Wow.
and then
Yeah.
it would, I would go again, and now it's just like it happens, and then it's just over for me. And when he goes down on me, I get no enjoyment whatsoever.
Wow.
Multiple.
You got a sister? 3 minutes
No.
worth of... Oh, okay. All right. And you used to have multiple orgasms, but you don't anymore.
Right.
Okay. Is this like unsatisfying to you, that just have sex for 3-4 minutes and have your orgasm and hit the fridge?
Well, I mean, it's not really that it's unsatisfying. I just feel bad for my boyfriend, because I think he can tell that after I'm done, it's just kind of like I sit there and I'm just waiting for him to go.
How long does it take him?
It depends. Sometimes he can go for like an hour. Sometimes it's like 30 minutes.
So for at least 27 minutes, maybe up to 57 minutes, you're just kind of reading the paper, watching, counting sheep?
Well, lately it's been like that, yeah.
Wow. And
That's bad
how
time.
about he pulls it together a little bit?
Yeah.
In the orgasm department, that is. You know what I mean? I mean, can't he buck up and get something to jump out of his dork in 14, 15 minutes? I can.
Oh, he can work it up on his own and then finish up.
And then, Adam, you hit the fridge
I hit the fridge.
afterwards?
Yeah.
That's like a routine for you?
I actually moved the fridge into the bedroom now. So
Literally.
I have to take
Literally.
that
So you
long
think
walk.
about eating afterward?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
after he remote control, then eating. Isn't that how you're usually working?
Sometimes I'll watch programs about food.
Adam's got the coolest house. He's got a TV in every room.
Yeah.
Perfectly located.
Yeah.
You seen the
Viewing
new house?
Pleasure.
The new
Yeah.
one?
Oh, yeah.
Both houses, though.
Yeah. They're my homes. I'm
It's like a
literally a
TV
millionaire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
They're your toys.
Thank you. Yeah, arguably one of the nicer houses in the San Fernando Valley. Ashley?
Uh-huh.
What about, okay, I mean, you go at 3 minutes. Do you want to extend it a little bit longer?
No.
Yeah, I
You do?
can't. Well, there's a big age difference between us. I'm 19 and he's 30. So I don't
she's
know
not into
if
this guy.
maybe
You're
that
you're
has-
not into him? Is there something you find repugnant or grotesque that you could think about?
No,
napalm,
I'm
Vietnam?
totally. I mean, he is great. He's
No, I know you're into
everything I
him,
could
but
possibly
I'm just
want.
saying, I don't know if a woman has ever done this. I think guys have. I mean, guys think evil. We picture maggots
Thatcher.
crawling on a potato bug, and we can squeeze another 45 seconds out of the journey. If do they have potato bugs anymore? By the way,
Out here they do.
oh, they do. Okay, Ashley, what if you thought about the grossest guy you work with for 10 minutes? Could you go? Could you make it now 13 minutes?
Well, that would probably just turn me off
I see. I see.
completely.
Well, it's kind of here's what it is though. It's like you have to feather the throttle a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Why do you sound like you're just sort of frustrated and not into this
Yeah.
guy?
Well, it is kind of frustrating because when we first started having sex, it was like, I mean, amazing. I was having multiple orgasms. I've never
Yeah.
done that before,
And now it's just like, for some reason, I don't know if I'm just overly excited about it or what.
No,
but
you're not.
It's not like you're that into the guy.
But here's the deal: the newness of the situation creates the arousal. Now you're just going back in your more normal rhythm, and why do you have to be sort of greedy about it? Why can't you just have your normal experience and be done with it, and just try to get him to sort of cooperate with your biology?
I'm tired of women now with this. Let's turn back. Let's build a time machine and get it on like we did 8 years ago. I'm tired of that crap. And guys don't do that either, by the way. I mean, women do so much of that. When we first started going out, it was all about foot rubs and flowers. And all right. You were 30 pounds lighter. Come on. Yeah, things were different. Of course they were different.
Well, when you start invoking the Coolidge effect, it means
Tell the Coolidge
time
story,
for a new
Drew.
chicken.
Tell the Coolidge story, Drew.
Coolidge story basically refers to a phenomenon
Coolidge, the president,
that
by the way.
exists in mammals, male mammals.
Go.
Apparently, there used to be federal farms maintained by the U.S. government, and when Calvin Coolidge was president, he and his wife every year they had to tour the farms as they went out touring, and they would have 2 separate tours, one from the first lady and one for the president. And the first lady was going around, and they got to the chicken coop, and the farmer very proudly presented his prize rooster, and he said, Mrs. Coolidge, I must share with you, this is our prize rooster, and this rooster is able to copulate at least 100 times a day. To which point Mrs. Coolidge looked spry and said, please report that to the president. Make sure he's aware of the 100 times a day of copulation. Mm-hmm. So now off they go. She goes on to the dairy section, and the president comes around, and now the farmer is a little more coy about this and says, Mr. President, the first lady asked me to point this rooster out to you and to let it be known that this is a rooster that's able to copulate 100 times a day. At which point Calvin Coolidge said, with the same chicken? No, not with the same chicken. With 100 different chickens. And that's why he's able to copulate 100 times a day. And that's called the Coolidge effect, where male mammals are aroused by diversity and newness.
Let me tell you about the Dr. Drew effect. You tell a 14-minute story, and at the end replace the word chicken with kitchen.
I know, that's ridiculous.
Wait, what?
Almost. Nearly did.
You almost say kitchen when you should say chicken. But it's a good story, Drew. I love that one. And it's one of the rare moments I can actually sit back and enjoy the show.
What would be the Roosevelt effect?
Eleanor or FDR?
Yeah, either one.
The point is women get angry. My wife called me into one of the many rooms, one of the many television sets, and there was that goddamn Oprah. Uh-oh. And she said, look, I want to show you something. Look at this. She said, this is 2 nights ago. Look at this. I said, what's going on? Okay, she's doing a story about the most romantic men.
Oh.
The guy's a colonel in the army. He has her on this, as a deal with the flower shop where she gets a bouquet of roses.
This guy's having sex with multiple women
every 2 days.
Multiple.
Yeah,
these guys are suspect when they do stuff like that.
He never stops loving her. He's writing poetry, and it's like, oh, for the love of Christ! And I realize, really, envy it's destroying our society. I realize I'm staring at this jackass who's probably gay, who never stops sending the things out. Right. They don't live together, by the way. He's got his pad, she's got her pad.
They're married?
They're not married. She's the boyfriend, and
he's compensating.
He's by the way going. He's in the military, so he gets shipped out for 6 months at a time. And by the way, that whole thing where you become like the dad who just shows up at Christmas, brings a few presents, and gives the kid a little horsey ride, and heads back to Florida.
We need to get this guy. We need to go find him and interview him properly.
And then she had nothing but kiss-ass guys on there who love their wives so much. And it was just, I was watching this thing, and I realized my wife was actually getting angry because Oprah was parading these a-holes in front of the world. These Benedict Arnolds, I call them, turncoats.
On the mail.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you something. Listen, I am totally into my wife. I love my wife. But if I started behaving like that, she should be worried.
Oh, yeah.
She should be very concerned.
Yeah.
There's something, I'm up to something wrong.
Possible tumor.
A tumor, yeah, but there's something of concern, regardless. It's a differential. But
if I say hi to my wife when I come home, she gets me a PET scan. She believes. I look down when I talk. I walk with purpose. I look at my feet. I storm right into the room and begin watching pornography. That's my life. All right, you ready, Drew?
Yeah.
You ready, Kevin?
Yeah.
Can I call you Kevo?
Yeah.
Okay, buddy.
Although I got to admit, there's one thing's happened to me is I'm getting old. As I get older, I keep realizing what women put up with men. and what they want and what they don't get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm feeling like I owe her more now.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Stop it.
No,
You
no.
give her
I mean, at a
enough.
certain point, you feel like you want to show them a little more for them to put up with what they put up with.
Well,
but that's when you're older. Not when
yeah,
you're young.
not
You can't
me.
do that when you're 20.
No, and listen, here's the thing. I really do believe women sit around, they watch TV, they see what people are wearing, they see what people are, how they're being treated, they see the lives they're leading. And here's what I'd like, by the way. My wife sits there and watches that Oprah and focuses on the part where the world's most romantic husbands and boyfriends. How about watch the episode before it where the battered wife is being flogged and has the 8 kids and is living in poverty. Not watching the TV that's buried in the wall.
Right.
For Christ's sake. Start focusing on that. All right. Sorry. Shirley?
Yes?
You're 23?
Yes, I am.
All right. You sound like an old soul, Shirley.
Well, actually, I sound older than what I really am.
What's going on?
Well, my
right.
problem is that, okay, when I was younger, I met my husband when I was 14 years old.
Uh-oh.
And then I was really sexual. I was always, like, wanting to have sex all the time and stuff.
At
but now
14?
it's
At
like-
14, Shirley?
Yes. Well,
Okay,
yeah,
so that means you're. Hey, listen, that means you're a victim. You're some sort of survivor.
Why?
That's what that means. And
She's
that
amorous.
that's
She's
what that
liberated.
means.
Europeans
How
do
old
that.
was he?
He's 25. He just turned 25.
So he was 16. You were 14.
Well, we're kind of. He was actually 20, or he was actually 15 when I was 14, and he turned 16 when I turned 15.
All right.
All
But the
right.
point is, you were having sex at a very, very young age.
So somehow now he's 25 and she's 23. So
Yeah.
he's gained a
Well,
couple
I'll
of
be
months on you.
24 this week.
All right. I see. There's a small window.
And the fact is that when people are survivors, they'll go through periods of very, very intense sexual activity, and then have periods where they completely
No.
shut down to it.
Listen, we don't know that she's a survivor. I
All
only
right.
know by her voice that she's been to hell and back. So what's up? Speed, abuse, alcohol, drugs? What's up?
Well, when I was young, when I first met him, I ended up pregnant. And ever since because I got pregnant at 14 and I had my son at 15.
Oof.
All right. It's
And
all
ever since, and ever
about
since
right.
then, I haven't. It's like I totally lost my sexual drive all the way. And he's like, his sex drive is like goes really crazy, and I don't even know how to like.
Okay,
fix that
we
for him
understand.
because-
But Shirley, just satisfy us, please, and tell us all about the
trauma,
abuse in
yeah.
your childhood.
Well, when I was a kid, I really didn't have a mom. My mom wasn't really there for me, and then I had a dad that abused me, and I was molested a couple times by my stepdad, and I was molested by 2 of my uncles.
All right, hold
So
on a
Adam,
second.
why did you tell me? Why'd you call me off when I was saying that she was an abuse survivor?
No, what do you mean? The first thing I said is she sounds like an old soul, and that's just sort
Yes,
of
but
code
she
for-
responded to you by saying she just sounds a lot older than she is.
Yeah.
She sounded like a Vietnam vet.
Yeah. First off, chicks are 23 that seem like they sound like nurses from Korea. You know, they just look death in the eye 1,000 times. That always means abuse, because essentially what happens is you become an adult the minute things crappy. Here's what being an adult is, kids. When life goes wrong, that's how you're an adult. People do horrible things to you. You have to pay bills, divorces, death. I mean, it's Oprah being called in and forced to watch Oprah on your own goddamn 42-inch television set, which you paid for with your own hard-earned money. And now, really, I put the set in so I could be bitten in the ass by my own TV set. Benedict Arnold, I tell you. Here's
Most of the girls
yes.
that call in here, though, they sound a lot older than they are, and I think it's probably that the ones that call in are kind of have no inhibitions about speaking freely. When I was 19 or 18 or 17, I would never call on a radio station, especially to talk about these kind of things.
No, that's true. But no, that's incorrect in the sense that yes, these people, most people, everyone on the show speaks freely.
Yes.
There's no doubt they wouldn't call the show. She sounded burnt out.
Yeah, she
at
sounds
20.
she's an abuse
she is.
survivor.
Well, she started getting abused at 7, and that's
Yes.
when she sort of became an adult. By the way, cranked out a kid at 15.
So her sexual acting out was part of the hypersexuality of the sexual abuse and physical abuse and abandonment. She has the trifecta abandonment, neglect, abuse, physical abuse, and sexual abuse.
Right.
And those kids are sexually active at a very young age. And as they move towards adulthood, they'll often, particularly when you're in an intimate relationship, which it sounds like you are with your husband, shut off to sex. Sex becomes the bad part of the self. And you can't share the bad part with somebody who you feel close and intimate to.
Yeah. All right. Here's what I worry about. A few things, Shirley. Any more kids?
No, I have two. I had a miscarriage.
Yes.
Like
Any more kids? Any more kids?
No.
No.
Well, there's Brian.
And Joey.
And there's Joey. And then the triplets.
Yeah.
But no kids.
No more kids. By the way, does anyone do the opposite of that? Like Adam, have any kids? Yeah. As a matter of fact, no. You never hear the opposite.
Well, LoveLine ever answered no to everything.
You hear no, and then you hear 5.
Everything.
Sure.
It's better than the people that answer like this. Any kids? Well, yes and no.
I kind of rather that'd be.
Wait a minute, my
amusing.
parents do that.
Yeah.
All right, Shirley. So you had a miscarriage.
Well, actually, it was a preterm birth.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Is that bad?
Is he okay?
Oh yeah, but I don't plan on having it anymore. I've got my tubes tied.
Okay, good.
So.
And by the way, that you would have 35 kids by now if you didn't have those tubes tied because people sound like you just spit out kids.
Do you think somebody would tie their tubes just to help them remember something?
Yeah, tie
to
string
get
around
your dry
your finger.
Cleaners, yeah.
Oh, of course.
True. Look,
that would be
Kevin,
expensive.
What? Squaresville over here. Shirley, you ever do any speed?
No, I don't. The only thing I've ever done out of any kind of drug is I drink alcohol and I used to smoke weed, but I've never done any kind of drugs ever.
You do? Did you do a little bit of drinking tonight?
Well, I do. It's an occasional thing. I really don't drink all that much. I just
recreation.
Like
drinking tonight?
Huh?
It's occasional.
No, it's an occasional thing.
Yeah,
but maybe tonight.
Did you have a few drinks tonight?
No.
No booze.
I've been on the road with my husband. He's a truck driver, so.
Okay.
He's on tour now?
Huh?
Is he
on tour?
Is he out driving?
No, we're done now.
Okay. All right. So, no more kids and some therapy for all the abuse you've suffered, the horrible abuse you had as a young child.
In decent shape.
Has she ever had therapy?
Have you had therapy?
Well, like a couple years ago, I had an anger management type thing going on with me.
Yeah.
And I ended up going to domestic violence classes, but it turned out that my anger wasn't behind the night or behind what I got in trouble for. It was from my past.
Okay.
So instead of doing group counseling, I did single counseling.
Good.
Right. Okay.
So
Listen,
I got a lot out of my system then.
Good, baby doll. Just take care of those kids.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Very casual. All right.
Times.
So, your husband wants sex. You don't. That's because you're
an abuse survivor.
You were abused, and this is the way it goes. It's feast or famine, and you're in the famine part.
And the famine part is most often associated with emotional intimacy. You wall off from those aspects of yourself that you associate with the abuse.
Okay. So, here's I think here's about the best advice we could give. It's not your husband's fault that you were abused when you were young by your stepfather and other people.
And he has a normal sex drive.
And he has a normal sex drive for a 25-year-old guy.
Yeah.
You, as a wife, need to understand that. That doesn't mean you have to bite on a wooden spoon while he penetrates you 5 times a night. That just means at normal intervals, a couple times a week, maybe once a week, if you can tolerate it, you have to be intimate with him. And the other thing, too, is I think you can sort of draw yourself into that. I mean, it's sort of like exercise. You don't, okay, here's what I want to say. We act like if a woman is if one fiber of her being is not interested in having sex at night, then by all means she shouldn't. She should never have sex. No one should ever tell her she can have. No, you get married. You have a husband. He's 25. He's horny. He's been out on the road for a week driving an 18-wheeler. He comes in the room. He's got a boner. He wants some sex. Feel free to give him a handy or a BJ. Yeah, let's face it. That's part of the relationship. And by the way, if not that, what's in it for us, marriage-wise?
and
just get yelled at in front of the TV about Oprah. That's it. That's it. We build the house so you can yell at us in front of the TV.
And the same thing is true of if the roles are reversed. I mean,
Yeah.
guys just go in and just
Now here's the thing. And here's what happened. We got spoon-fed this crappy thing about 10 or 15 years ago where if a woman did not want to have sex 100%, not 99%, 100%, it was rape.
Yeah.
It was essentially, you could rape your wife if she wasn't in the mood that night and you had intercourse with her.
Which you can do, but that's not what we're talking about here.
No, but I'm close.
Can you get arrested for that?
Well, rape is a violent crime.
It is.
Violent, Kevin?
Drew brought this up.
Kevin?
It's a very important thing.
Listen carefully.
Okay, Kevin.
Yeah.
Rape is a violent crime. It's not a sexual crime. You understand? It is a crime of violence
and power.
And power, but mainly violence where you come at the end.
So let me understand this then. You're saying it's a crime of violence.
It's a violent crime. It's not a sexual crime. It is a crime of violence.
We ejaculate.
You come. You come. It's
Can you
no
get-
different. Now let me explain something.
Can you get violent somewhere else and have that same?
Well, he's going to give you an
I'm
example.
gonna tell you something.
Okay.
It is no different than if I go in and violently assault a liquor store owner and rape him and come. No.
Pistol whip him.
Pistol whip him.
And then ejaculate.
It is no different than if there's an elderly man walking down the street and I stab him and take his wallet and come. And it's a violent.
Would that
it's not
would that cause
it's
you
not
to
sexual.
ejaculate?
It would, yeah.
All right.
But I'm saying
it doesn't matter.
It's not a sexual crime. It's a violent crime where you come. You come.
So you really shouldn't let it matter to you.
No, I'm just saying a lot of people confuse it with a crime of a sexual crime.
They're not really attracted to you then.
No,
violent
this is
crime where you
violent. This is violent.
So not only
It's like sports, boxing, football. They're violent
sports.
If you can. If a guy punched you in the head and you ejaculated, that's what it would be like. So it's not a sexual. I'm just saying, do not confuse it for a sexual crime.
All right, I'll remember that.
Oh my.
Okay, so about the time that crap was being laid out in society, somebody decided that you didn't have sex unless you were damn good and ready, and I'm saying I don't think someone like Shirley's ever going to have sex, because of what she's been through.
Yes, no, she's not going to feel great about it.
And her husband has to be a good guy about it.
He's hanging out.
But there's the other part too, where you don't want to do something, and then you start doing it, and halfway into the 20 minutes you've been running on the treadmill, about minute number 10, you go, I'm glad I did it. That's not so bad. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can do that with sex. We've done it. Let's face it. There's been nights when we've not exactly. Drew's a man of extreme passion. Never had that night, but I've had those nights where I'm just that
must be tough.
This one's for the team. I'm going to lean into one. And
now, would that be a crime of violence that you're talking about?
It
now?
was. It was a violent, but I orgasmed on the hair. But it was a violent act. All right, we're going to take a break. The great Kevin Nealon over here, arguably the comedian's comedian and the thinking man's arguably comedian. Going to be at the Irvine Improv Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
LoveLine. We'll be right back.
Hey, everybody, it's LoveLine. I'm Adam. Dr. Drew was paged by the emergency room, so he's calling the emergency hospital right now. Kevin Nealon, dear friend Kevin Nealon here. And Kevin, arguably one of the funnest and funniest comics in the Irvine Improv. That's this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Drew's back. All right? Everything cool? Yes? Mm-hmm. Good? Did they need to page you?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Because
What's that like?
oftentimes they don't.
Always wearing a pager.
Good times.
Really? What'd you do? Did you ask for lactate ringers and D5W stat?
One or the other.
Oh, it's one or the other?
Yeah.
It's either lactate ringers or D5W?
Actually, I tend to use D5 half.
D5 half.
Mm-hmm.
When I say I go D5W, that's me. But
It's a little
lactate
hypotonic.
ringers?
It's too hypotonic.
Too hypotonic? But would you use lactate ringers with D5W or be
No,
one or the other?
one or the other. Lactate ringers. The surgeons use a lot of lactate ringers.
What's a lactate ringer? Something made with milk?
Yeah, what is a lactate ringer?
It's a replacement fluid, IV fluid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because it seems like something a Mexican whore might give you.
Yeah.
You know, like an extra $10, you go with the lactate ringer. You want the lactate ringer? I mean, it's going to cost you, but you're
thinking of a lactate rimmer.
My friend visited a Tijuana whore once when we were in Tijuana, and it was like it was one of these things where it was like $25, for either a BJ or intercourse. And then when he went upstairs, found out it was like another $25 for the room. This many years ago. So it was, he's planning on spending $25. Then it was another $25 for the room. Then he changed his mind midstream and went from the BJ to the intercourse, as many guys will do. I think they're counting on that. I think secretly the prostitute hopes you start with the BJ because you're always going to switch gears. You see what I'm saying?
It's a marketing tool.
It's a marketing tool. And in which case, they charge you the extra $25.
Nice.
Yeah. Took a little while. It was really like it was a scene from Porky's. We were then caught by the bouncer pulling a bottle of tequila out from under the table and freshening it up, our expensive Pepsis, and were chased out of the joint and down the street. And Buddy was in there on top of a Tijuana whore. Paul?
Yeah.
You're 22?
Yeah, I'm 22.
All right. What's up?
Well, I have what is arguably the most difficult situation I've ever had to face. I was dating a girl for 2 weeks. We broke up, and she calls me a couple weeks later and tells me she's pregnant. And
2 weeks you've been dating her.
What's that?
2 weeks only.
Right, 2 weeks.
Oh,
Met at a bar, and 2 weeks. She was kind of nutty, so had to get out. But anyway, she's pregnant now. Fairly certain it's mine. Probably about 95% sure. And what she's telling me is that she doesn't want to give the child up for adoption. I do, but obviously it's not my choice.
I was drifting off a little bit, worrying about this problem I've got at the hospital.
Lactate ringers or the D5W?
The D5 half. How long have they been together, these two?
2 weeks. They're together for 2 weeks. He met her at a bar. He really forgot to pull out. She called a few weeks later and said she's pregnant. No, they broke up.
So it was a 2 week sort of hookup, basically.
There was nothing. It was a tryst.
Well, she's kind of a nutty girl.
And she's nutty.
Do you want to get more involved with her? Or?
No. She's nuts. She wants to keep the kid.
Right.
All right. So what's the question?
Well, we broke up, and she kind of threatened suicide and went kind of crazy and thought she was in love with me or whatever. But
maybe she's not pregnant.
What's that?
Could she be using this as a ploy?
I thought she was at first, but based on
All right. Okay.
You're going to want to establish paternity with this one.
Yes. Here's the deal. You telling her to get an abortion or to give the kid up for adoption, she's probably not going to work if she's nutty.
No.
You're going to have to say to her, and this is about the only way you can sort of call her bluff, which is, look, if you insist on bringing the child to term and being the child's mother, fine. Understand when the child is born, I'm going to have to get a paternity test before I then go ahead and start whatever. Now, we'll get the paternity test. We'll establish that I am or am not the father. And if we establish I am, then, of course, I will be responsible financially, and we'll work that out. We'll not be together as a couple.
We will not have a relationship, yeah. You've got to make that clear.
It's a bad situation. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the approach she came at me with, though. She came at me with, this is the situation. Do you want to have any part in this? And in Texas, I have the right, if I want to sign off parental rights and not have any responsibility or any rights towards the child.
But financially?
No, I don't think that's true.
Financially, I wouldn't have any responsibility.
What?
Really?
No.
Well, if the mother if you sign, it doesn't sound right.
No, it's in the state of Texas.
All right.
You know those Texans.
Yeah. So do you want to do that?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to look at it from both sides.
Well,
Obviously,
okay.
I want to give up the child for adoption, but I don't have that choice.
Right. All right. Well, I would say you should tell her I want to give the child up for adoption, and if she won't agree to that, then I guess you can sign the paperwork.
Oof.
On the other hand, I would still insist on a paternity test after the kid comes out.
Yes.
And then thirdly or fourthly, if it is in fact your child, I imagine you're going to have some contact with it. On the other hand, is some contact worse than none? I sort of think limited is sort of worse.
In some ways it is, but at least he could send some money to the kid, support the child.
Yeah, I mean, shouldn't they just make up a story about how he was killed in a duel?
Oh, yeah.
Very brave.
Oh, of course.
Some guy called me a strumpet. Your father insisted on dueling him.
Mhm.
And
with sabers.
Killed the man and was killed off the ricochet after the bullet passed through the guy's heart. So it's showing he was a marksman, too.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Nicole,
Yes.
you're 26.
Yeah.
You're remodeling your basement.
Yes.
You want to talk insulation?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. What's the question?
Okay, I'm in Utah, so it gets cold here, but
Uh-huh.
I just want to know like the thickness, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Your
Or what?
Oh, hold on. Your basement is just a poured concrete walls.
Yeah, and
Formed-
the people that lived here before tried to put up
Some paneling.
spacer bars, whatever.
Yeah, they put sleepers on the wall and then put insulation between the sleepers and then put paneling
Oh, no,
or drywall
they didn't
up.
get that far.
Or what did they
No,
try to do then?
They tried to put up spacers, and they're all like some of them are a foot apart, some are 2 feet apart,
Yeah.
and I
Okay.
don't know if I can
Does
just
this become a home improvement show?
It is now.
Partly.
Yeah.
Partly.
Okay. So they did a horrible job.
Yes.
Okay.
Take
okay.
it down.
Okay. Here's what you got to do. Pull the crap they put off. Were they just use 2x4s on there?
No, it's like what they put was it's probably like 2 inches thick, like 2 inches across, and like
I'm gonna
half
go
an
to
inch
Utah and
thick.
punch her. Uh-huh.
And they're not even
Yeah.
spaced.
Okay.
She's a victim.
Listen, when were you molested,
It's all
sweetie?
messed up.
You were raped by a contractor. Okay. Schneider raped her.
Yeah.
Okay. Now listen, Nicole. Are you drunk, by the way, or high or something?
Well, I've been drinking.
Okay, so you're not going. It's going to be like a dream. I had a dream that Adam Carolla gave me some bad insulation advice. Okay, listen to me.
I don't understand. Is this really like an insulation question?
It is. All right, I'm going to answer the question. First off, you need to treat the concrete with something. You get some of that dry lock masonry paint or something and actually paint it, seal the concrete. The concrete is very porous, by the way. It does not hold water. It leaks.
It's Utah. Stuff will melt in the springtime.
Right. Number two, you need to put on something that you can put the drywall or paneling onto. That stuff needs to be womanized or treated or pressure treated. It can't just be raw wood. Everything there is going to get wet. It's all going to get mildewy. It's all going to get screwed up. So seal the wall, seal this basement wall. Then you can go ahead and put 2x4s or 2x6
Treated
or
wood.
whatever. But it's that green pressure treated stuff. It's good for termites and water.
Doesn't that
and stuff
stuff
like
cause
that.
cancer though?
It does if you
Eat it.
if you violate yourself with it, which I made a wooden leg out of it and then put it in me. I keistered it, yeah, and I do have rectal cancer, yes, but
it's good in the wall.
It's good, it's great in the wall, and it's great for bottom place. The point is you do that. Now the whole thing about insulation is measured in R value. Yes. R13 for the 2x4s, R19 for the 2x6. The bigger the span, the more insulation you can put in there, and thus the greater R
Should she
value.
use 2x6s?
Now you're burning space. Now you're making your basement that much smaller.
Oh,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And you got a mildew situation there. Here's what I would do. You ready?
Yeah.
I would use the treated 2x4 sleepers on there, pop them onto the wall after I sealed the wall. Then I would take rigid insulation. It's flat. It's like a styrofoam. It's only about 1.5 inches. Cut that, put it in the bay. That's not going to be as permeable with the water and stuff. Then put the drywall over that.
There you go.
You get a little R value. You get your sleepers. You don't have to worry about the rotten.
Did you say 2x6?
I'd go 2x4.
2x4.
2x4 flat.
Flat. That's
on
what
the,
I was going
on
to
the
say.
four
So you're not
side,
burning space.
And then put the rigid. It's basically like foam. It's a hard foam.
What about
Put the
that
rigid
stuff they spray
insulation
in the wall? The foam that they spray in there.
There's different
That's
stuff.
good stuff. There's the expanding stuff, the two-part stuff, and then there's the cellulose stuff, which is just sort of newspaper with borax in it.
Which is also what women have sometimes
Now
in the back of their legs.
Yeah.
Newspaper with
Huel
borax.
Hauser, everybody. Yeah.
Take a break.
Christine? Oh, we got to take a break. Christine?
Hi.
You got your tongue pierced?
Yeah.
All right. But you smoke meth?
No, I did, but right now I'm in an outpatient rehab program.
Okay, but what's this have to do with construction? I don't. All right, hold on a second. All right, there you go, everybody. Am I boring you, Kevin? You okay? You want to talk?
Okay, the show just took a wild turn.
Well,
I'm
we
just
can
trying to figure out
we can talk our value.
Do
during,
people know that they can call in and talk construction too?
Some do.
They rarely do, but once
Boring
in a while we get the phone
And
call.
I think you're more excited about that than the other.
Oh, yes.
Conversations.
Oh,
I've
yes.
seen you come alive when they started talking about insulation.
Our values, my God.
Our values. Wow.
Yeah. All right, we'll take ourselves a little break. Kevin Nealon, arguably.
No, it's not arguably anymore.
The best.
Literally
the best stand-up comedian that's ever worked. That's ever climbed onto a stage.
In Brea.
and will ever climb on stage. Long after he's gone. There'll be others trying to live up to him, but never even
I'm a
coming
climber.
close to him. He's a climber. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back after this.
Call 1-800-LOVE-191.
Can I get pregnant if I do it? You get addicted to aspirin? It hurts when I pee. That's pretty accurate.
LoveLine. Be right back.
Hey, everybody, LoveLine. I'm Adam. That's Dr. Drew. Yeah, Kevin Nealon, the comedian's man's comedian. Yeah, he's the comedian's thinker. What he is. Funny stuff, I'll tell you. Funny.
Hey, we've digressed a lot.
He really is funny. And he's going to be at the Irvine Improv. That is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And go out there. And I'll tell you what. If you don't think he's funny, I'm going to give you your money back. Yes, Drew?
You will.
How about that? Don't make me do it. And you know
You'll
what
do
else
it.
I'll
He's
do?
wild, Kevin. He is wild.
I will
He
drop trout.
He's
I will
crazy.
drop
Don't
trout.
tempt
I'm
him.
this
He will
close
do
to
it.
drop
He will
trout. You
do
want me to drop
He's
trout?
one of
I'll
these
do
crazy
it.
radio
Drew,
guys that will
tell
do
him
it.
I'll drop trout.
He will do it.
I believe it. I believe
Okay.
it.
All right. Kevin, you ready to rock here,
Yeah,
buddy?
man. Let's rock, man. I'm ready.
Christine?
Yes.
All right. So you pierced your tongue.
Yeah, I got it pierced like 4 months ago.
You smoke a little meth, but you quit.
I'm in a rehab program, and my crutch is smoking cigarettes.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
parents want me to stop doing everything.
What's your question?
How
I
to
was
kill our
wondering-
parents.
My parents' problem mainly is that I could get tongue cancer from smoking cigarettes.
No. I know more than anybody else. Your parents need to go to Al-Anon.
Really?
Your parents need to go
Really?
to Al-Anon.
Smoking will not give you tongue cancer?
No, what I said was no more so than somebody without a tongue piercing.
Oh,
she was
that's what I meant.
associating
She had
tongue
the tongue
piercing,
piercing.
and
But smoking will give you
Yeah, absolutely, it can. It's really pretty much only tobacco users that get cancers. of the
also
mouth and
colon
tongue.
cancer, but that's only if you inhale really deep.
Yeah. It's an
or as Adam has tried many times.
rectally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know,
That's just for chew.
it's more of a gag,
Yeah.
to tell you the truth, just to get the life in the mood.
But it's a great thing.
Some people draw a hot bath. I smoke rectally.
But when
I
It's a
chew
thing.
rectally. I
But
chew
when-
tobacco
that's what
rectally.
when
He dips.
He dips, and when he goes to the spittoon, it's just hysterical.
Oh, it's a great
Yeah.
sound. And
Yeah.
it coming out, I mean, the mixed with the fart is awesome.
Can you hit that spittoon?
Yeah, it goes. All right. Hey, Christine.
Uh-huh.
Look, here's the deal. Your parents sound concerned.
They need to go to
I
Al-Anon.
wouldn't be angry
They
at them, but
need
they
to
need to
go
go
to
to
Al-Anon.
Al-Anon.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
you smoking
we were
cigarettes.
talking about in the program today, and like we've been trying to work it out that I could smoke some cigarettes, but they just, like I can't quit everything at once.
Well,
yeah,
look, actually the rule of thumb is that you should try to quit everything at once, but if you can't, certainly it's understandable that cigarettes are not what are destroying your life right now.
Well, but
Yeah.
secondhand smoke is a first-rate killer. That's how many Americans died last year of secondhand smoke, Drew?
Four.
I saw a billboard that the Rob Reiner company put up. It was like 55,000. Really? 4?
Nobody talks about being killed by secondhand cars, though.
Yeah.
Which is probably a higher rate.
Yeah, absolutely. Careening off of lampposts and
buying
mailboxes.
used cars that aren't safe.
Oh, yeah. No.
But that's another show.
Yeah. No, people who smoke are evil. So Christine, and Christine sounds angry at her parents, and they need to go Al-Anon. And look, oh, my God. Snot-nosed 17-year-old girls, I think they know everything, and they got the tongue piercing. And I bet her parents are okay, too, by the way. Christine?
Uh-huh.
What are your parents, attorneys?
No, my parents are entrepreneurs, though. Like, my mom has a promotional company.
All right. They make money, right?
Not really.
They don't?
Not too much, no.
No. I mean, they claim that. Do they live in a decent house and drive a decent car?
Pretty decent.
All right.
Right now we're in debt and everything.
Are you angry at your parents?
I used to be. Right now I'm just kind of, like, I guess mutual with them.
Okay. Well, listen, try not to be bitter.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Look, just focus on your recovery.
Focus on sobriety.
Oh, and I'm 16 now. I'm 17 tomorrow, literally.
Okay.
Hey,
happy birthday. Well, that's God willing, by the way. It's one day at a time. One day at a time. Okay. All right. Let's, as a kid, I always walked around and I saw those bumper stickers everywhere, the one day at a time. And what's some of the other slogans of the program?
One day at a time is the big one.
Yeah, but there was... Thanks, when I mentioned that one. There was a couple. There was, a sober and sexy
Easy
one.
Does It.
Easy does it. Easy does it. Thank you. I would see the rainbow tape "Easy Does It" on almost every car in my neighborhood, which is probably not a good sign. And a lot of smashed up front ends. And I would see the Easy Does It, and I never knew what it was. It was just like, I guess Easy Does. Makes sense. It's like Here Come the Judge or something like that. Like, where's the beef? Easy Does It. I never knew it was a sober guy thing.
I didn't either.
Is this news to you now?
Yeah, I never knew that.
Yeah, Easy Does It. And what was the first one I said?
R equals radiant.
Oh, R equals radiant, by the way.
R value is a laboratory measurement of conductive heat transfer.
Yeah, that's a wordy bumper sticker, but I would see it every once in a while. Nerds. Guys working at JPL down the street. Yeah. Didn't I say R stood for radiant?
You did.
Thank you.
Genius.
Thank you. All right. Drew, by the way, both getting paid the same.
Really?
Drew returns calls to the hospital with the lactate ringers. He's on the phone with this old lady. He's probably shopping eBay now on the internet. I'm the anchor of the show. And, get paid the same. Split it right down the middle. And by the way, I don't look at it as us getting paid the same. I look at it as a lump of money for the show, and I choose to split it with you, Drew.
Thank you.
But Drew's in a higher tax bracket.
Yeah. Well, he is because I'm going 50-50 with him. If Rackman was still here, believe me, he wouldn't be in that bracket. Oh, yeah. All right. I said it.
There you go.
Okay. Matt?
Hi.
You're 24?
Yep.
All right. Hold on. Let's talk to, paid the same. Jeremy?
Yeah.
You're 20?
Yeah, I'm 20. How you guys doing?
We're doing good.
Good.
You get nervous and your butt sweats.
Yes, it's kind of embarrassing.
And that's where it sweats.
Yeah, just only there, nowhere else. I can't figure it out. I mean,
right.
Like, when I'm in the office all day sitting out, I get up and there's a friggin' ring on my shorts.
That's right. And you're calling from Yuma, Arizona.
Yeah.
Where it's nice and cool.
Not
yeah.
even close.
Yeah. All right. That's where you sweat.
Yep.
Not a whole lot, although I am a bit of an expert at this.
Really?
And yeah. Here's basically what I know about sweating.
Okay.
People sweat in different places. I mean, there's the common ones, under the arm, sometimes small of the back, and sometimes like that. Sometimes people just sweat from their forehead. Sometimes they sweat from their ass. Usually people put out about the same amount of sweat. It's just people sweat in different places. And
Right.
some people do sweat profusely.
Right.
Guys sweat more than women and so on
But
and so
mostly
forth.
it's when it goes to like the hands or the head or the ass that it becomes a problem.
Yeah. By the way, guys who sweat on their ass will have dry armpits, and you can feel sorry for all the guys who go out on dates with the big flop sweat rings
The
underneath. The guys who are pitting out
Yeah.
with the the khaki shirt on, and you got the ass that looks like the upside down heart. Okay, the point is not a whole lot you can do about it. Don't worry about it, and start wearing jeans.
Can I interject something
Stay away
here?
from the Dockers. No, we're running late. We got to take a break.
All right.
Sorry, Kevin Nealon, arguably one of the best interjectors.
Literally.
All right, we'll be right back.
All right, guys, here's the deal. Looking to hook up? Call the Dateline. Sick of wasting time with the wrong person?
Call the Dateline.
One call's all you need to make.
Call the Dateline.
1-877-889-DATE.
If you need help,
Call LoveLine. 1-800-LOVE-191.
Hey, everybody. That's the show. I want to thank Kevin Nealon for coming in tonight.
I had a great time. It was really, really fun.
You were a delight, Kevin, as usual.
As always.
He's going to be at the Irvine Improv Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This weekend, I'm going to give you your money back if you don't bust a gut laughing at this guy. Funny
Literally
stuff.
bust a gut.
Literally. All right. James Lights Out Tony, one of the greatest boxers of all time, in here tomorrow night. Something like 67-3. And I'm going to spar with him tomorrow.
I was going to say, are you going tomorrow before you get here?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
this
we'll
will
have
be
something
good.
to talk about.
Oh,
and
boy.
he's a maniac.
Bring some video.
He's a maniac.
Bring video.
So there could be trouble. All right. So until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.
This has been Loveline. Loveline. The opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily those of the staff, management, sponsors, or this station. The producer for Loveline is Annie Gold. Loveline is a presentation of Westwood One Entertainment.